Opus answers the age-old question that everyone's been dying to know. What if you take Jim Jones from Jonestown and you make him a pop sensation? What is up, guys? I just got back from watching A24's new horror movie, Opus. Now, after watching the trailer a couple months ago, I knew going in that we were going to go down the weird side of A24. So what avenue did Opus take? Well, let's get into my thoughts. Now, the movie starts off with us following this young girl by the name of Ariel, who is a journalist writer of the sorts. And she plays this quirky, awkward, kind of outcast sort of character, if you will. But just randomly, out of nowhere, she gets invited to a pretty big fucking deal. You see, John Malkovich's character, Alfred Maretti, is this mega pop sensation in this world, and he's been gone for about 30 years. And he has this really good idea to come out of retirement and make the greatest fucking album known to mankind. Divorced parents around the globe are going to get back together because of how awesome this album is about to be. And he has the bright idea of inviting a select few to come listen to it first. And Ariel, who is a pretty smart character, by the way, she's not a dumb shit. She's all like, yeah, to progress this movie, I think I'm going to partake in this, but I am going to keep my guard up, especially considering we have to go out in the middle of nowhere, area fucking 51, to listen to this shit. So they get into this bus and they head out in the middle of nowhere on Courage the Cowardly Dog Street, and they arrive 4 hours later to this giant palace that's fenced in, and it is inhabited by all of these people that are supposedly obsessed with Alfred Moretti, aka Cult. Now, of course, the vibes are very off, and from the very get-go, everything just seems a little bit weird and ominous, but you could tell that something is kind of lurking in the background. But for the most part, we start off very tame. But what this film does a couple times is it hits you out of left field, out of nowhere, and likes to remind you, hey, you're watching a fucking horror movie, just letting you know. I don't really want to spoil anything, so let me get into exactly what worked for me and what didn't. So first and foremost, the performances from our lead, as well as John Malkovich and Juliette Lewis, they all fucking killed it. Secondly, I know this plot is very similar to a lot of other movies, but what this film actually excels in is keeping you intrigued. It gives you just enough breadcrumbs to kind of lead you down this path of where you think it's going to go, and then it just kind of hits you out of left field with some shit. We're going to revert back to the plot here. This movie is very similar to movies like The Menu, Blink Twice, Midsommar. You take the plot of all those, tweak them a little bit, make them a little less good, and you have Opus. Also, I did not really care for the ending whatsoever. It's not that it was terrible by any means, but they definitely go down the pretentious route, and I left the theater kind of scratching my head in confusion, not because I didn't understand what had happened, because I clearly did, but I'm just sitting there thinking to myself, why did you end the movie like that? But overall, guys, I did have fun with this movie, and I would recommend it to you guys if you just want to check out something a little bit new.